have ever wondered what it is that makes other people look so confident and so articulate when they're talking, you're about to find out why. Hello, my name is Brenda Janambula, and I am the creator of Public Speaking Masterclass. Welcome to this video. I help professionals develop speaking confidence and articulation that helps them to stand out and get promoted at work or wherever they go. If you are interested in improving your confidence as well as your articulation, you're in the right place. I'm going to share with you 10 strategies that you can use today to develop an articulation that will help you feel empowered and ready to face any social event you come across. So with that, let's get started. Strategy number 1. Smile. Smiling is the most underutilized and most effective way of you feeling good about yourself, as well as producing amazing hormones that actually help you to feel relaxed, to feel at ease, and to feel happy. Whenever you produce all of those hormones, it means that when you're approaching someone, you are going to be at your best. You are going to shine, and you're going to help others feel at ease when they talk to you. Smiling allows people to feel like they're coming into a space where they feel welcome. And that's always a good thing whenever you're getting on stage or whenever you're meeting someone for the first time. So the next time you think about what is the first thing I should do if I want to feel confident, just put a smile on your face, and instantly you'll notice that you perk up. As well as you perking up, you notice that the person who's approaching you also perks up because they feel welcomed by your smile. Strategy number 2 is what I call clean speaking. Get rid of all of the ums and the ahs and the likes in your talking. Because every time you use ums, likes, you knows, which are generally called filler words, you distract the listener from what it is that you are trying to say. The more you use those, the more it feels very irritating to the person who's hearing it. It's almost as if they're trying to really focus on what you're trying to say, and yet someone is on their arm poking them and saying, hey, hey, hey. And that's the exact same effect your ums and your ahs have when you're talking to someone. The way to get rid of the ums and the likes and the you knows is, as soon as you say something and you've made a clear statement, stop yourself for a second. Think about what you want to say next and then continue. Normally you would think that something like that would be odd for the person who's listening to you, but what actually happens is that that person pays attention more to you and they respect you more for the thoughtfulness you're putting into what you're saying. So it's an amazing thing to do and a really powerful, effective way of talking. Pay attention to how you're talking with your friends, because normally the way you're talking to them is likely how you're going to talk on stage. So every time you are making a statement, stop yourself for a couple of seconds, think about what you want to say next, and then move forward. Strategy number 3. Carry your voice to your audience. Project your voice in such a way that it's almost as if you can put an imaginary basket in front of you, put your voice in it, and carry it to your audience. That will really help you to understand that if I want to be heard by someone who's far away, I must really make sure that I have put all of my effort into ensuring that they hear everything I say. When you do this, it really helps someone to know that you care about them. In fact, when you speak and you carry your voice in that way, people respect you and they appreciate you more because they can tell that you are putting effort and thought into how you are communicating to them. If you, on the other hand, put your head down and talk to yourself and don't really engage with your audience, they're likely going to believe that you really don't care about them. You don't really want to share with them what you have on your mind, because it's almost as if you're having your own personal party and no one is invited. So the way to really have confidence and to share really effectively with your audience is to carry your voice. The moment you start to practice carrying your voice in that way, you feel good about yourself. You feel powerful. You feel stronger. And you feel in charge. That in itself actually builds the confidence that you want to have. Strategy number 4 is clear speaking. Speak clearly. Make sure that all of your words can be understood by everyone around you. That means that you cannot mumble, you cannot swallow your words in such a way where people are trying to figure out what you just said. You really want to make sure that you pronounce your words clearly so that whoever is way down the room, as well as the person right next to you, can understand what it is that you're saying. You putting the effort to speak like this, again, signals to everyone around you that you are invested in what you are saying and it matters to you. Therefore, it starts to matter to them. But if you are mumbling, it makes it sound like you are unsure of yourself and you're not quite sure about what it is that you are talking about, and therefore they cannot trust you. And if they cannot trust you, they're not going to listen to you. And if they're not listening to you, they're going to start zoning out. Strategy number 5, lively speaking. That means that you use different tones and inflections in your voice that make you sound interesting. If you're talking about something where you want people to really be interested and to be curious about what you're saying, lower your voice and make them wait a little bit. Pause and make them wonder what you're going to say next. The opposite of this kind of talking is the monotone voice where you sound like a robot, and I am just going to continue to explain myself this way, but no one is really paying attention. A monotone voice encourages people, first of all, to fall asleep, and second of all, you are lifeless. And if you're lifeless and your words are lifeless, how is it that you would expect anyone to really invest or to pay attention to what you're saying? When you are interested in what you are saying, other people are going to be interested in what you're saying. So do your very best to just put little intonations in your voice that make your speaking interesting. Strategy number 6, use gestures. Use gestures that really support what it is that you are trying to say. If you are describing an elephant and you say, I saw a big elephant, it's one thing. But if you say, I saw a big elephant, it really helps to put an emphasis on how gigantic that elephant is. I just did 2 things there. Not only did I use a gesture, but I also used the lively speaking we're talking about by ensuring that there was an inflection in how I expressed how big the elephant was. So you really want to start using gestures to make sure that they support all of the things that you are trying to say and emphasize them in a way that bring your description to life. Strategy number 7, speak in a steady voice. When you speak in a steady voice, it allows people to really follow your train of thought. If you are speaking too fast and people really have a hard time trying to catch up with what you're saying, it makes it really hard for them to, first of all, understand what you're saying, and secondly, absorb what you're saying. But there's one thing that happens as well when you are speaking that fast. It causes your audience to feel anxious because they feel like they're trying to catch up with you. At the same time, it makes you anxious in how you are speaking. If you have a steady voice when you're describing things, it calms you down. And that means that your audience is able to be calm and to really absorb what you're saying and to let everything that you're describing become a part of them, as opposed to feeling like this person was just throwing things at me and I don't know what I should have taken in. Strategy number 8, make sure that every discussion that you have, whether it's on stage or in a one-on-one conversation, always has one point. What is the one thing You want to leave your audience remembering or carrying with them as they move away from talking to you. If you are able to have one clear reason for what it is that you're trying to say, it helps other people to grasp all of the things that you're trying to say, but it also gives them something to hold on to that they can then use when they remember what you're trying to describe to them. If it feels like you are giving way too many ideas for someone, it's hard for their minds as well as their hearts to know where to land and to know what it is that they should have taken out of all of the jumbled thoughts that they were being presented with. As soon as someone asks me a question, I immediately get into the mindset of, what is the one thing I want to leave this listener with? From that one thing, I will think of 3 or 4 things that will support that one thing. And that will enable the listener to, first of all, know that there's a central point that they should take with them. And then they'll also have all the corroborating ideas that I wanted to have them carry along with that central point. Can you see how that could make it so much easier for your listeners to, first of all, understand you, to resonate with your intelligence, as well as to feel like, whoa, this person really knows what they're talking about. I should trust them. I should rally around them. I should promote them wherever I go. Strategy number 9 is what I call doubt speak. What I mean by that is this habit that a lot of us have of speaking as if we're constantly asking a question even when we're not. You will hear it in this way. I went to my child's preschool today and it was really great and I really had fun with the teachers and I really enjoyed the food. If you are listening to someone speaking like that, you would wonder when it is they're going to finish what they're saying, because it sounds like a long sentence that never actually stops. It also makes you look insecure. It makes it look like you're not quite sure what it is that you're talking about. If I am going to give a description of how my visit was to my child's daycare, I'm going to say something like this. I went to my child's daycare today. It was really incredible. The teachers were great. The kids all had fun. We had great food, and it really felt like everyone was a family at the daycare. Can you see the difference in how that sounded? In the second example, I sounded like I was sure that I had made the right decision as a parent. Other people would be curious as to what this daycare is and how can I get my child into it. That's what happens when you are not using doubt speak and you are using an affirmative voice at the end of your sentences. Strategy number 10. In addition to not putting a question mark at the end of your sentences, make sure that your words do not disappear at the end of your sentences. If you just paid attention there, you notice that my voice just sort of disappeared. And that's what a lot of people tend to do when they're talking. When you do that, it has a way of making it look like you're insecure and unsure of what it is that you're trying to say. If instead you said, make sure that your sentences do not disappear, people really feel your confidence and your authority as you say those words. And that authority carries so much weight in having people trust what you're saying and trust you as well as liking you. Because when people trust you, they will like you. And not only will they like you, they will possibly promote you because they feel like you know what you're doing and you can articulate it well. Now, as a final treat, I thought it would be good to demonstrate all of these 10 things that I've talked about in the negative and in the positive, so that you really see what it looks like when someone is speaking well and someone is speaking quite poorly. In this example, I'm going to use Mary as the one who's speaking negatively and Jane who's speaking positively. I really want you to pay attention to your heart rate, your emotions, and how you feel as you are listening to Mary, as you're listening to Jane. That is how someone is going to feel if you're speaking like Mary or if you're speaking like Jane. Are you ready? Let's start. This is Mary speaking. Hello, my name is Mary, and I am a part of this community, and I really just wanted to talk to everyone about this issue that I'm seeing, that we don't seem to have enough trees in the neighborhood, and I really feel like something has to be done about it. And I thought I thought it would be a good idea to bring it up at the community meeting. How do you think the audience is going to respond to her if she's speaking like that? Here is Jane. Hello, my name is Jane, and I'm a part of this beautiful community that we live in. I wanted to just come and address something I feel like no one has been talking about, and that is the lack of trees in our neighborhood. It's really doing a lot of damage to the property values for us not to have so many trees, as well as to the environment. We have a great opportunity to actually do something about it before it's too late. So if you would give me a few more minutes, I would like to discuss with you the options that we could possibly have as a community to solve this problem. Who do you think they're going to listen to between these two? Who is going to have the most impact? How did you feel as you heard Mary and Jane talk? Were you agitated? Were you calm? Were you at ease? Did you feel like you remembered anything Mary said? Did you feel like you remembered anything that Jane said? Put your comments down below. I would love to hear your thoughts on how Mary and Jane sounded, because whatever you got out of both of them will help you to become a brilliant speaker yourself. Thank you so much for having joined me in this video. Look out for videos every Thursday on the Public Speaking Masterclass channel. Practice all of these things that we have been talking about today and see what they will do for your speaking as well as your confidence. And here's to all of your success.